Welcome to the Tight Knit Circle, a podcast where fiber artists and creatives of all levels and backgrounds come and talk about their passions and how it affects their daily lives. Please check out our video podcast on YouTube to see all pictures mentioned on this episode. Thank you for tuning in to this episode of the Tight Knit Circle.
So how are you doing today? You're doing good today?
Yeah, I'm doing very fine. Very fine, actually.
That's good. Yeah. I wanted to know, though, how you got started.
Okay, so where do I start from? I started 2020, May 2020. It was during quarantine.
Oh my gosh.
And yes.
Wow, you're good.
I was at home with my family. I was at home with my family and I was super bored, nothing to do. I was just waking up, sleeping, eating, watching TV. Like I wasn't just doing anything productive. And then one day my sister, she came into my room and she was like, let's see, we should crochet.
Oh.
And I was like she just brought it out of nowhere. And I was like, okay, but how? And she was like, we'll learn. Like we just watch a bunch of videos and we learn. And I was like, no, because I remember back when I was still younger, my friend tried to teach me how to crochet, but I didn't get it. And I always take pride in being able to like get all these things that have to do with the hands really fast. But I didn't get it in the first 5 minutes. And I just assumed that, okay, crochet is not meant for me. It's meant for all these supernatural people. So
it takes a lot.
I never tried it. So when my sister brought it up, I just remember that time and I was like, no, I can't do it. But then she kept on persisting. Like she kept on pushing, like, I have to.
She knew.
Yes. Like, so like I'm a really creative person. So I could like put my creativity into it and you know, we could even make some extra money from it or something.
Exactly.
And I was like, okay, we'll give it a shot. Although that time it was during quarantine, so we weren't allowed to like go out and do anything. So I spent like an entire week just watching YouTube videos, getting the basics, trying to understand what I was going to get myself into.
Oh my gosh.
And then after a week, I went out, I got my very first hook and some yarn, and I started. That's how it started.
Wow.
It was really difficult, but then it was during quarantine, so I was able to practice every single day for months.
Yeah, and you can really see it because it takes some people years, and to know that you learned that over quarantine and you're that good. I learned how to crochet when I was around like 9, and I'm just now learning how to make garments. Like I was just crocheting hats and blankets. So to know that you learned in 2020 and is now just coming out with these elaborate designs and these luxury garments, it really does inspire me. But it makes sense what you said, that you really focus like on learning, whereas I didn't necessarily focus on like learning more about it. What I knew, I kept going. I didn't learn how to make garments. And well, back then, you know, I wasn't on YouTube. I was like 10 years old. But now we have YouTube and all the tutorials and stuff. I've been learning a lot more about
YouTube is very helpful. Like up to now, YouTube is my best, like YouTube forever.
I know. So do you have what social medias are you on?
I mostly focus on Instagram. I have a Facebook account, but I don't really use it.
I don't really use Facebook.
I have a Twitter account, but then just on and off. I'm mostly just focus on Instagram.
Yeah, I try to focus. Like I tried to get on Facebook, but it's so difficult. It is so difficult to figure out.
I was on Facebook back then, but now I don't know how to use it. There's so many new features, and I just get
so many new features
anytime I log into that.
So I'm gonna make sure to like link all your social medias down so that people can like follow you and stuff like that. So what is your like favorite yarn to use? Your favorite yarn and hook combo?
Okay, let me confess to you. Only ever used brand of yarn, and that's the yarn that's available here in Nigeria. It's called VA yarn, and that's the only yarn I can walk into a store and actually get. Like if I want to get different types, I have to like order them, and I'm not really a fan of that because I want to like see and feel what I want to buy. Although I'm just trying into foreign yarn now, but I mostly just deal with what I can actually see and touch and walk into the store and get for myself.
Yeah, the yarn that you
So the yarn I
use is very versatile.
100%. Oh, thank you. Yes, it's pretty decent. The
Yeah.
color options are okay for now, but I really want to explore more. And yeah.
Yeah, I haven't explored a lot of yarns either. Usually I would use acrylic yarn just because that's what I can afford at the moment. So that's what I would use. But other than that, I want to try different yarns, but they're not only very expensive, they're just so
I don't want to
expensive.
get into that part. Like other part, like I really want to explore, but then they're really expensive. But I want,
Yeah.
I don't mind at this point. I
It'd be
just
like
want to
$20 for a small ball.
Yeah,
But
yeah, that's how it is, and it's so frustrating.
yeah, because it's like you'll need like 5 of those or 4 of those just to make a garment. It's like almost $100. But that's still
Like if you want to make a dress, like a pack of the yarn I use is enough to like make a full sweater or a dress or something. But if I want to like invest in foreign yarn, I have to like budget like triple the amount for
exactly.
for that same
Yeah.
garment. And
Yeah.
well,
So what's your favorite colors like to work with?
blue,
Blue?
blue, blue.
I love blue
Just
too. I've been falling for green lately, though. Green and yellow, I've been definitely falling for. I've been loving those colors
green and
lately.
yellow combo.
Yeah, like green and yellow, springtime colors, pastel.
Hmm.
I've been liking
Oh,
those colors lately. But I
I'm trying
definitely
to like, I'm working on a yellow project right now, but I've
oh
not really thought of actually combining green and yellow.
yeah, it would
Mm.
have to be the
Well,
right. It would have to be the right shade. It would have to be the right
mm.
shade of
Something that
green.
can like really blend in.
Yeah, exactly. Or else it'd probably look. I don't know.
A look red.
Yeah, I don't know.
So
So you knit as well. So when did you learn how to knit?
I I started knitting a year after crocheting. Like I think July 2021, I started knitting.
Wow.
I'm not like a knitter like that, so like I know the basics, but it's
Yeah.
hard. It's hard
Yeah.
to like I just know the basics. I know how to make a square. I know how to make a triangle. So I just take all that information and combine it into what I've been able to make so far.
Yeah.
But I
I mean,
can't not really gotten into the more complex
yeah.
knitting patterns.
Yeah, it's the same for me. I literally made my first knitted sweater maybe like a year ago, but I've been
Is it
knitting
hand knitting or
since I
using
was 8.
machine?
Oh, hand knit. Hand
Oh,
knit. I want to learn how to
okay.
use the machine. I want to learn how to
Me
use the
too.
machine because it seems
Well,
like
before I learn how to
very
use
fun.
machine, I want to like master the hand knitting. I don't know
Yeah.
if it's really important, but I just to really know how to use my hands first before I go into machine
Yeah.
knitting.
So I learned to knit when I was literally 8 years old.
Wow.
Is when I learned how to knit. And because I saw a commercial and it was a girl, she was using the machine knitting. And I was like, I want to learn how to do that. But my parents never believed me. So they never bought me the yarn. They never bought me the knitting needles until a year that I persistently told them I wanted to do it. And then they finally believed me. And then they finally got it for me. And I've been knitting and crocheting like ever since
So how
then.
did you learn? Like who taught you?
I literally taught myself through library books because at that time that was the YouTube was books.
Wow. Like when people say I learned through books, I try to imagine it because anytime I look at the book, it's quite confusing.
Yeah, it was very difficult.
So how
it was very
it must
difficult.
have been difficult.
Yeah, it was,
Yeah.
especially since no one around me knit or crocheted. I literally had to keep reading the line over and over again. I would just keep reading the sentence over and over again. And it took me a long time to learn how to purl because, you have to take the yarn backwards and I didn't know that. So all my stuff had holes in it and it looked terrible, but I just kept going. And then I found YouTube and then that's when it really took off because I started visually, because I'm a visual learner. So I started visually seeing it and I was able to really go forward. So do you have a favorite project that you've made or you love all of them?
Asking me one of my favorite projects is like asking me to pick a favorite child. I can't. Okay, I have some projects that I hold really close to my heart, but then I love everything.
Yeah.
But then one project that I really like right now is I don't know if you know it. It's that black sparkly angel set.
Oh, yeah.
The trousers.
I love that.
I don't know. I just love it. Maybe it's the yarn or I don't know, but I just really love that one.
I love it.
It's not my favorite,
so
but then I really love that one.
Yeah, I like that one too. I think I love the blue one that you made with the clouds. Yes, I like that one.
That's your favorite.
One. Yes,
because I think that's like the least favorite. One of my I love it, but I feel people don't love it as much as I do. Because I don't get as much compliment on that one as I do on all my other projects. So
wow,
I'm surprised you like that one.
Yeah, that's crazy. Because I love clouds. So when I saw it, I was like, oh my gosh, that's really nice. And I love the blue, the colors. It was really nice. That was one of my favorite ones. So your sister, she crochets as well?
She tried it for a day and was like, crochet is not for her. So
oh my
I was
God.
the only one that took it up.
Yeah, because she pushed you, to keep going. And now look at you. You're making all these amazing designs. So she did her job.
Yeah.
Do you remember the first project you ever made? The first crochet project you ever made?
I do. I should have a picture of it somewhere. I think I even have it somewhere somewhere. I don't know where it is, but I know I kept it. It's this blue. It's a royal blue crop top. Just a simple rectangular crop top. Yeah, that's my first. I used a single crochet. It took me forever. It took me 3 days to make it. I like 2 balls of yarn, but I was really proud of myself after making that piece. I thought that was
I think the first thing I ever made was a scarf. I made my mom a scarf. The first actual garment piece I ever made, I'm trying to remember, was probably a sweater. Because it's really just rectangles. You put 2 rectangles together, that's the body. Then you put the rectangles together for the arms. And you can get into the intricate designs and stuff like that. Yeah, but it's basic constructions. That's how I made my first garment piece. But yeah, what do you see yourself, do you see yourself continuing to crochet as a business, being like an entrepreneur and working on that? Or do you see yourself moving around, doing something different?
Crochet is something I plan on doing long term. I may expand, but I know I'm never going to stop crocheting because crochet is the love of my life. It's the love of my life.
Yes. I know it helps a lot of people with the anxiety, and helps a lot of people with, being calm and having something to do and quieting your mind and stuff like that. For me, honestly, it's just amazing to see that if I write an idea down, I can literally create it with yarn and a hook. That's such a cool
thing. You can create anything with a ball of yarn and a hook. It's really amazing.
That is so crazy. How do you because I know sometimes if I crochet for a long time, my wrists will hurt. So how do you combat having your wrist hurt? Because you do orders and stuff like that for people, right?
Yeah. I really don't know how I do it. I mean, okay, when I'm tired, I rest for 10-20 minutes and just get back into it. I make sure I'm relaxed though. I have to relax my back. I have to sit down on a chair and make sure my back isn't strained. I have to make sure my hands are in a certain position. And that's true. Yeah, I can go a really long time crocheting without taking any breaks. But I won't lie, it gets really tedious sometimes. I love crocheting, but sometimes it becomes really stressful, especially when I have this deadline to meet and I'm just working.
Yes, I can see. I just literally started doing custom orders. I'm working on my first one now, and I'm everywhere. Yes, someone commissioned me to do a bikini set and a bucket hat, and then the baklava face mask with the eyes. And I'm everywhere. I've started over the bikini bottoms 3 times because she told me to have creative control. She said, do whatever you want. And in my head, I'm like,
Like,
okay, what if she doesn't like it? What if she
have
doesn't
to make
like
it perfect. Yes, like there's that. Like, you're not just making it for yourself. If you're making it for yourself, it's different. You can just take your time and do whatever. But you're making it for someone. That person is going to give you a review, and you need it to be a good review. So you just have to make it perfect.
Yes, I've been like taking my time. I'm using a yarn I never used before. That's like a bamboo type yarn. Because I wanted it to be like light and breathable for the spring and summer. Because, you know, but I don't think she would swim in it. Like, I don't see people swimming in crochet. I don't really think.
I heard acrylic yarn is the yarn to use for swimwear instead of cotton, because it just works better with water compared to cotton.
So I'll have to get more. Okay, so how do you keep a stock of yarn for your orders? Like, you just keep a stocks of yarn and have like a yarn stash and stuff?
Yeah, I do, but it's not something I'm proud to show you right now because I really need to restock. Yeah, I do.
Okay, I need one. I was like, if I'm going, because someone told me to make a post about like opening up custom orders. I was just scared too, because I was like, if people start flooding me with wanting me to make them something and I don't have enough yarn and I'm not prepared, like I'm going to get overwhelmed. And I didn't want to make my love and my hobby of crocheting become something that I resented, because I was like rushing all the time. So do you do all of your own photos and stuff like that for your pictures and stuff for your Instagram?
I do everything by myself. Everything. And it's very stressful. It is extremely, it drains me completely. I wish I had some help, but I don't trust people to help me for some reason.
It's the truth.
I just do everything by myself.
Yeah, because it's like you're a baby, you know, it's your heart. It's all your hard work. Every time you're
and people don't
something.
get that.
Yeah, they don't.
I just do by myself.
But you do really good with your photos.
Oh,
yeah, you do really good with your photos. Would you ever think about like modeling or something like that?
I've thought about it, but I just don't have time. Maybe if the opportunity comes up, maybe I'll take it, but my mind isn't there. Really.
Yeah.
I just want to crochet.
Yeah, because I agree, because right now I know that with me getting a job, that'll help me be able to fund the business. So it's really like getting a job to make money to fund my business, which is crocheting and which is knitting, because I've been trying to, I want to publish patterns and like write patterns. I have a few that are published, but I want to get better at publishing patterns and stuff like that.
Yeah, so when get into writing,
you should. It's not that easy though. It really isn't, because I can see it in my head and I can make it, but to write it out as instructions, it's like it's not easy.
I've tried. Like, I write down my patterns, like my personal patterns, like when I make a design, in order not to forget when I make it a certain time, I just write it down. But only in a way I can understand. I don't know how to write it down in a way people can understand.
Everyone can understand. Exactly.
If I can't figure that out, then I don't mind sending some patterns. Really.
Do you remember your first custom order? Like the first time you gave somebody something and like they paid you for it?
Oh, yes, I do. There was a guy, he wanted to get, I don't know if you know this set I made. It's lilac and purple, this color with heart, a top, a skirt, and a
hat.
Beret. Yeah.
Yes.
I made it for him. He wanted to get it for his girlfriend. So that was my very first order. That was in 2020. Yeah. And it was through Twitter. I posted my work on Twitter. People seemed to like it, and he ordered for one. And I made it for him for a ridiculously cheap price.
Oh my gosh.
It was like, I don't like thinking about how I was back then, because I didn't remember.
Because you didn't know.
Then, but that was my first.
Yeah. It can be very hard. Even now, like with me trying to learn how to price things, it can be very hard because like I I want to get my worth because we're hand making things that take time, it takes money, it takes our skill and experience. But then I also don't want to for it to be too expensive that people can't buy it. So that is
Yeah,
difficult.
but at the same time, I'm still trying to figure out my pricing and all that. I'm still struggling, although I'm better with it now than I was before, but I feel like I keep on going, I'll get better and better with it. So
Okay, I'll ask you one more question and then I'll let you go. This has been amazing. It really has.
we've been talking for 40 minutes, or how long has it
Yeah,
been?
yeah,
I feel like
because
we've been for like 10.
I know it hasn't even been that long. This has been amazing, honestly, because I don't have a lot of crochet friends. I've kind of just been to myself. And I'm like, okay, but it'd be funner if you just meet different people, learn about the way other people do things, and maybe you can learn how to
Yeah,
do some things better
I
and just
really,
grow.
because I just stay indoors like 24/7 and do my stuff here. I know other
Yes.
crocheters online. I've not like actually met them in person. And I
Yeah.
would really like to meet them.
Yeah, I would too, because I feel like there's so many talented people out here
Yeah.
that can crochet and knit and just do all these different types of things. And it always shocks me every time I see like the designs that everyone comes up with. I'm like, oh my God. It's so amazing though. It's so amazing. So is your design process like how do you go about designing? Is it a quick process where you can like come up with something very quickly, or does it take you like a while to come up with the design?
Sometimes could take like a few minutes. I'm just like, oh, what can I make? And a design just pops up in my head. Sometimes it could take as long as 1, 2, 3 weeks. Like I'd have this design in my head, but I wouldn't really know how exactly to execute it. And it would just take a really long time because my ideas are always changing. I could be like, okay, I've gotten this design, but then I'd go to bed in the night and I'd wake up with and it's time to design. I'm like, no, I'm gonna do it this way. I'm not doing it this way. And it could go on and on like that for like weeks at a time. So
Yeah.
And even when
That's
I
good.
get started on a design, it could just turn out to be something completely different from what I imagined. So
Yeah.
yeah.
This has been so fun though. Thank you so much though for wanting to come on here with me. I'm so happy and I was so ecstatic because I was just like, you know, I have to get her on here and I don't know if she'll say yes or no, but we'll see. I just prayed to God and I was like, you know, God, please help me. And so
I'm really happy.
apparently we'll have to do, I don't know, a 6 month to a year check-in or something like that, where we get on again and check back in again to like see how you're doing and to see, you know, how much you've
really
grown
like that.
since then. Yes, but I definitely know that I'll work on sharing your stuff. So that way, you know, we can just support each other. So most of the social media will be through like the tight knit circle because I'm trying to build that up. But on my like personal Daisy Loops as well, I'll be like sharing as well because like people need to know that we as a community support each other because it's been so negative lately and I've just been hearing about a lot of negative things like that have been going on in the community. And so I was like, I miss the positivity of like just crafting, you know, and just talking about what we love. Because I don't really like drama. I don't really like drama.
Yeah, drama on my side because for me, like this crochet community has been really kind to me, like so far.
That's
I know
good.
there's some drama once, but I've not really experienced anything like that.
Yeah, I haven't either. I just hear, you know, about it from other people. And it's sad because I'm like, we're just supposed to be knitting and crocheting. Why are we being dramatic?
I hear some things too. I hear some things, maybe seeing a pattern or not giving reference or something.
Yeah,
it happens.
Yeah, that's another thing that I had made a video about because this can be hard when you have multiple people coming out with similar ideas and everyone saying you stole it from me, you stole it from me, but that may not necessarily be true because I know that I'm not on the internet all the time and I write up ideas literally out of my own mind. And then I look online and someone has a similar thing, But I can't
done
go
it.
and say, yeah, I can't go and say they stole it, you know, just because it's similar
Yeah.
to what I'm doing. So I think it there are people who genuinely do steal others' works and don't credit them.
Of course.
Yeah, but I don't think everyone
Fucking them.
is. Yeah, I don't think everyone is doing that purposefully. So that's why I just want to start this podcast, just to be positive and put some light back in the community and showcase other people like yourself and say there are people out here, you know, making amazing work, doing amazing work.
Yeah.
And
That's really
stuff like
amazing.
that.
That's really,
Yeah,
it's
so
really nice. Like, I love what you're doing. Like, this is really interesting.
yeah,
Like, I thought you were just going to me with questions and I'll have to like, what am I going to say? But it's just really chill.
Yeah,
really
I
like
wanted it to be very like flow, natural conversation. So I didn't want to write a bunch of questions down. I wanted to just be like genuinely getting to know somebody, you know,
Yeah.
not treating them like a robot and just shouting questions at them, but truly like learning
I
like
would
who
break
you
down.
are. Yeah, exactly. Because I know that someone had asked me, what type of questions are you going to be asking? Because I don't want you to ask negative questions. And I was like, no, I wouldn't ask like anything that you will be uncomfortable with. This is about crocheting, not about like politics and not about stuff like that. You know, this is about your art and your artwork. That's the showcase.
And we
You know,
have to do something we love, so it should be easy to talk about.
yes, yes. So I'm glad that you agree. And I was so happy the way the promo came out, like the pictures and stuff like that. I was very proud of like how that came out. Yeah, so I'm super excited. I'm super excited though. So thank you so much for, you know, blocking off basically an hour of your time to talk with me. I had an amazing time talking. I had an amazing time talking with you, and I hope that you have an amazing rest of your day. And continue to work, and I'll continue to support and continue to, you know, like and comment and share your work.
Thank you so much for inviting me, and this was really amazing.
You're
really
so
amazing.
welcome. Thank you. Okay, bye.